Everybody, and welcome to another edition of Get Sweaty. I am your friendly neighborhood soda, as always, joined by my two co-pilots, Ben Big Fudge Rainer and 50 Shades of Reboots. How are you guys doing this? Well, for me and Ben this morning.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this.
You finished booting up there, 50?
Fully rebooted and ready to go.
So hopefully this reboot of 50 is as good as the original.
You mean as bad as the original, right?
Hey.
There's a reason why it was rebooted.
Yeah, I'm sure your mom would have something to say against that. So if you guys can't if you guys can't tell by 50's name, our list today is top 5 movies that we think should be rebooted. Now, it seems like we've all approached this from different angles.
Yeah.
I've got one that is could argue should not be rebooted, but once I give my arguments, you might change on that. But everything else is movies that were panned at the time, didn't make any money, but that were either ahead of their time or just really shouldn't have happened.
Mine is not going to be up. What's going on?
Oh no, I just muted you while you were coughing.
Oh. Mine is a movie that were fun, but could be updated to be better. If that makes sense.
No, it does. And how did you approach this list, 50?
One of mine already is in development to being rebooted.
Oh, right on.
And I think I kind of did half and half of movies that were bad, but the potential is there to be good, but also movies that just didn't get the love they deserved when they came out, in my opinion. And I think they would definitely work a lot better today in the modern context.
Yeah, I've got one that is I've been finding a lot, especially amongst my friends and stuff, that's beginning more of a cult following as it's gotten older. One that it's a great concept. It's a movie I actually do not dislike, but it should be rebooted. And one that we're all very familiar with down at the bottom. So
Might be my number at the bottom.
Well, we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
So who's starting today? Who wants to start today?
Well,
Your topic.
Okay, so I'll kick it off. I went with number 5, which is a movie I remember watching. It's not bad, but it is very convoluted. It is the movie Hancock.
Ooh, I like that.
What I would do, though, is I would make the main focus of the story the Zeus and Hera part. Instead of you find that out in the third act, I would make that a more prevalent thing from the beginning.
Okay. That's a good movie. I like
that. Would really change one thing about it.
But it's like 2 movies were meshed into one.
Yeah, I agree. And that part never really bothered me.
Yeah, I didn't bother it either, but it didn't bother me either. But I just think that Zeus Hera thing, where every time they're together, they slowly start to die, I think is a great thing that can be explored through a whole movie. Forget the whole amnesia part. Like, that was fine for that, but I would rather have the focus on Zeus and Hera.
Okay, so you're thinking similar to Marvel's Eternals?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, where they've been around for thousands of years, and it just covers all these different centuries.
Yeah.
I think in that context, it could work.
It could work.
Yeah. And just every time they were considered the
heroes of
biggest thing in that era, and it would make sense with the original Hancock, because right now the superhero craze is at its highest. So
right, and this was made at a time where everyone was trying to make superhero movies, but they just wanted to rush them out of the gate. If you were to do it now, it probably would have more care taken to it. They probably would put more focus on the characters and actually try to make a movie that I think people would actually embrace more so than the first one.
The original, 2008?
Something like that. Because if I remember correctly, I just moved to Vancouver.
Somewhere in that area.
Yep, 2008. 2 points for the win.
And you're a winner.
Fucking chair.
What's your number 5, my man?
Okay, my number 5 might get punted, but it's a movie we all know sucked. And it's a movie that should get rebooted. There's some stuff happening with the IP, but it's definitely not the original that we got is not the one that everyone wanted to see. And hold on.
I wonder if it is on my list, this one.
I think I know what it is. It's not on mine. I'm right.
It's Green Lantern, baby.
Actually, no, that didn't make my list because I know they're rebooting it.
Are they, though?
Well, they're trying to.
Yes, that's my point. So
It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. I do remember thinking the director's cut wasn't half bad. Just the one thing that really angered me the most was what they did with Parallax, because Parallax is such a badass villain in the comics, basically because he preys on your fear and he takes you over like a body snatcher, whereas in the movie they made him a giant fucking cloud.
I will say this. One of the highlights of that movie now is Ryan Reynolds in the movie Best Friend. He's played by Taika
Waititi, who plays
Green.
So they didn't include this in the movie, but that character's nickname, Tom, his nickname in the comics is Pie Face because he's Eskimo.
Yeah, I can see why they didn't put it in the movie.
Yeah. But yeah, to find out that is Taika Waititi, who's gone on to direct Thor Ragnarok, What We Do in the Shadows, Jojo Rabbit, you're like, damn.
We had Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds.
And you did Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds.
He was a great villain in that movie.
Spoilers, still haven't watched it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no spoilers. He's the villain, but
touche. What I do love from that marketing campaign was when they were talking about how I think this is the first time we've acted together.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You never saw that ad campaign?
No.
I'll have to send it to you, 50. It's pretty funny.
Speaking of ad campaigns featuring Taika Waititi, have any of you guys ever seen the ad campaign for tourism in New Zealand?
The only one I have watched was the Hobbit one.
That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah. It's Elijah Wood as Frodo advertising New Zealand as if it's part of the Lord of the Rings, and it's good to be green, but it ain't easy.
Being green.
But yeah, so Taika's in that one, obviously advertising the whole thing, and you know who else is in there?
Oh, yeah, a lot of people.
Sylvester McCoy.
Yeah, the seventh Doctor who played Radagast in The Hobbit.
Radagast.
Right.
You get the joke.
I do. I have to say this. I honestly did not hate the Hobbit movies.
Me neither.
They're
not as bad as the last one.
The only thing I would change that frame rate thing that he tried to do in the first one, because that was really weird.
That never bothered me either.
It did when I saw it in theaters.
You know what I would do? I would make 3 movies into 2 movies.
Yep. It works better because the last one is just a bunch of people standing next to a wall and yelling at each other for like an hour and a half.
Check out your private
chat. That's what the internet is for these days. It isn't my turn.
It is, but check out the private chat first.
Yeah, I knew that.
Did you? Oh, yeah, you knew that. I don't think he did.
Yeah.
Okay, well, never mind. Anywho, Ben, what is your number 5?
Robin Hood.
Which Robin Hood?
Which one?
That's the point. There are so many.
The one from Doctor Who?
There are so many. I want a good Robin Hood movie.
We have a good Robin Hood movie. It's called Robin Hood, Man in Tights.
There's several good Robin Hood movies, and yes, that is the best one. You've got the Robin Hood. I mean, these are the 3 that are considered the best. Obviously, Robin Hood Men in Tights, the cartoon Robin Hood, and The Adventures of Robin Hood starring Errol Flynn, which is a fucking fun time for a 1930s movie.
Right, but it needs to be updated. Update the movie.
I mean, they tried to do it in 2017.
Was that 2017?
I don't remember. It was recent. They tried to do it recently, and look how that turned out.
Well, how would you reboot it then? Just out of curiosity, because there's a movie, there's a franchise that has so many reboots. How would you go about doing it?
I would I would get Chris Hemsworth to play Robin Hood.
What do you
Okay.
think is a little too big for Robin Hood physically?
He's more of a Little John.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Maybe you know what? Get Tom Holland to be Robin Hood. And get Chris Hemsworth to be
I mean, yeah.
Little
I
John.
mean, he's very nimble.
Get
We have to get Taika Waititi as the Friar, please.
Yes.
we have who can play that? Get Tom Henderson to be King Richard.
Prince John, you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, because King Richard's the one that comes back at the end of the Crusades.
Yeah. That's the good king.
Okay.
From now on, all the toilets in the kingdom shall be named John.
John's.
Oh.
Make it part of the tour.
Make it part of the tour.
Yeah, I didn't.
That's an interesting name, Latrine. We can just sit here and talk about that movie all day, can we?
You changed it to latrine. Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be Shithouse.
That's my favorite Mel Brooks movie.
It's not my favorite movie.
Yeah, obviously, we all know how I feel about Spaceballs these days.
I haven't watched Spaceballs in a long time. I'm not gonna lie.
Wait,
Neither have I, apparently.
That's one I am shocked that a sequel was not made during the prequel era.
Me neither.
Because you couldn't do it. You can't do it without Rick Moranis. And he wasn't making movies at that time.
Yeah,
He's
but
coming back for the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids sequel.
Yeah, but I think now it's too late. I think Mel Brooks is I don't know. Mel Brooks is old, fragile, should be kept in a lockbox. He does not need to die. No.
And he's still alive, Mom. I'm going to keep reminding you that till the day he actually dies.
Please not be any day soon.
But to be fair, there's a new History of the World Part 2 coming.
That was announced, yes.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. Because the whole idea is that it's just part 1.
Yeah.
No part 2. So it kind of goes against the rules a bit.
It still has one of my favorite Mel jokes.
Don't tell me the rules.
Oh, yo! You're looking for it, aren't you, Soda? You're looking.
Actually, I was. Yeah, I don't have it on here. Shit.
You're looking for the thing. Ah.
I was looking for the tell me the rules. No, that other one's on here.
Never, ever tell me.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
That was not me.
I got you. I got you.
Calm the fuck down.
No, I shall not.
No, my favorite line in History of the World Part 1 is probably one of my favorite Mel Brooks lines. Like, behold, the 15, the 10,
the 10 commandments for all to obey.
I think everybody's favorite part in that movie.
I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
My dad's a tour guide in Israel, and he's using that joke in his tours all the time. Really? It's like, originally there were 15 commandments, but then this happened.
Nice.
Okay. Matt,
so my number 4 is the one that I thought 50 was going to be talking about at number 5 because all of the same things apply. The Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, I haven't even considered that one.
Yeah, because literally everything you said leading up into 5, I'm like, fuck, he's got Super Mario Brothers.
But they are rebooting it. You know that.
I know.
Yeah,
but it should have been done. It should have happened already. It's been 27 years.
Technically, it's not even. Well, I mean, I guess it is a reboot. Yeah,
it is. But I mean, like a proper live action reboot because there is a lot in that franchise you can do. You just don't need to go to the steampunk that they did in that one. Which, funny enough, is the very first theater I remember seeing more than seeing brought back into my theater more than once.
Nice.
Yeah. So some people liked it.
Apparently.
Yeah. And
Is
plus,
it-
you've got all the lore that was added on after that movie had come out in the Mario Brothers universe. So, I mean, there's so much stuff you could do to make an actual coherent
Yeah,
live action.
it's hard to imagine, but Mario was actually relatively new at that time.
94? Yeah, it's only been about 10 years old. Yeah.
I think in 93.
93, I think, yeah. Same year as Man in Tights.
In 93, wow.
It is 93.
Yeah, it came out the same year I did.
Oh,
but-
dear God. It came out the same year I did. Very good one. Very good 50.
Yeah, but is it Dustin Hoffman who played Bowser in that movie?
No, it was Dennis Hopper, and it was King.
Dennis Hopper, yeah.
There was no Bowser.
One of the D's. Did you ever hear the story about why him talking to his son about why he took the role?
No.
Like his son saw the movie and he's like, "Dad, why on earth did you agree to take this part?" And he sat down with him and he said, "Son, I did it so you could have money to buy shoes." And he just looked at him and said, "Dad, I honestly didn't need shoes that badly."
Oh, no, not a
There
real movie.
there is one little thread I do think could, like, from that movie that could work. It is that taking somebody from the real world and transporting them into another land. I like that nugget. I just don't like how they did it.
Well, they got it.
I mean, hey, I was gonna say that, Ben. They did it with Sonic, and guess what? It worked.
Yep.
It worked, and they're making a sequel.
Yeah, and yeah, that Sonic movie just completely, like, surprised everybody.
Would you consider the Sonic the Hedgehog movie the best video game movie we got? So
Yep, easily,
me too.
Yeah.
easily.
You all know how excited I was for Detective fucking Pikachu,
Mm-hmm.
and still that movie's not terrible. But I mean,
Finish that.
and now they're making a live action Pokemon series apparently
Okay,
on Netflix
makes sense.
with the original showrunner of Lucifer.
Oh,
So who knows how that's gonna end up?
yeah, no kidding.
I mean, I smell little devilish Pikachu coming.
What?
Said a little devilish Pikachu coming.
Yeah, Pikachu, that little devil.
So I had forgotten that, yes, King Bowser was actually in the 94 Mario's Brother movie, but however, it was one of those, he was in stasis because of Koopa. So he's a good guy, I guess. Played by
that King Bowser?
apparently,
Oh, yeah. That movie was so
which
fucking
would
good.
make what, Daisy his daughter?
Yeah.
Koopa, played by the great, or not King Koopa, Bowser, played by the great Lance Hendrickson.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Oy. Anyways, enough about that shitty movie. 50, what is your number 4?
Almost equally shitty movie. And it's one I think you might have on your list, Soda. It's The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Actually, yeah, it's a soft punt.
Okay, Ben, go ahead.
You're going to surprise you guys because I love the original.
If you say Back to the Future, I'm going to shoot you.
Oh, dude.
In my top 5, it can be. I think it can be really fun done in today's tech. Hook.
Really?
So
Yeah.
you went from Robin Hood to Peter Pan.
You'd reboot Hook?
Yeah.
Wow.
You were right. You have surprised me.
Me too.
Jonah Hill as Peter.
Jonah Hill is Peter?
Yeah.
No, I would prefer Jonah Hill is
Surprisingly, I can see that.
Really? I can't.
I can see that.
Okay, can
I
you
can
just
see him embodying the childish nature of Peter Pan. But
Oh,
here's
totally.
the billion-dollar question: who do you cast as Hook? Channing fucking Tatum?
No, of course.
No, Channing Tatum. Sorry, I had to do that. I love that. I love that scene, and this is the end.
John Cena as Hook.
But you wouldn't be able to see him.
Boo. Just kidding.
Calm the fuck down.
Not me. Oh, it's 50 who's doing it. Yeah, okay. No, what I would actually, I don't know. I saw still not sold on Jonah Hill. I would see him more as a Smee.
Well, I had Josh Gad as me.
Never mind.
Yes.
Josh Gad is Smee.
Yes,
Way better.
yes,
Never
that
mind.
makes sense. Yes, Olafusmi. Get it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Olafusmi.
And Zendaya as Tinkerbell.
That's fucking genius casting.
Yes. Especially after she really didn't do much in Dune.
Even part 1.
It's part 150. Calm the fuck
I
down.
know. I know. But are we even getting part 2 now?
Yeah, they announced it the other day.
Didn't they say like they needed the this movie to make back its budget or something?
They
They
announced it
announced
2 days
it.
ago.
Okay, never mind.
No, you know what? I know a lot of people use his name a lot. This is who I would put in the role of Hook. Ryan Reynolds.
You mean that's Peter?
That's what I meant. Ryan Reynolds is Peter.
You might see him popping up on my list a little later.
I don't know. I think he fits the role. I think he could do everything that Jonah Hill does. Clearly, Jonah Hill is the better actor, but I think I think Ryan
Have
Reynolds.
you seen Buried, the movie?
No, but I've always heard it is good.
What hit Ryan Reynolds is incredible in that movie. I think Ryan Reynolds might be better than Jonah Hill.
Yeah, because I think he can do the childless wonder that Peter Pan exudes more so than Jonah Hill.
You know what? Yeah.
Although, speaking of childlike wonder, and you gotta remember, Peter Pan is a British character. Matt fucking Smith. Bow ties are cool, baby.
We have a winner.
Never, ever tell me the rules.
Matt Smith as Hook. Why the fuck didn't I think of that?
As Peter Pan. Damn it.
God damn it.
He's already met pirates.
Oh, you know what would be even funner? David Tennant is Hook.
Dude. Yeah, we're
and-
nailing this.
and,
Spielberg, I hope you're listening, man.
If we can't get Josh Gad, we got to get the guy who played Nardo as Smee.
No.
Lucas.
No. It's not. The guy who played the shot.
Should I get the grenade, sir?
I mean, hell, let's just not reboot Hook. Let's just recast Hook with Doctor Who characters.
The Pirates beat
Tiger Lily's River Song, or rather, Alex Kingston.
Yeah. Although we include Tiger Lily.
Okay.
Isn't in Hook. It's only in the Peter Pan story, and that is considered one of the most racist characterizations ever.
Okay, no Tiger Lily in this movie.
Yeah.
What do we cast as Rufio? Wendy and John and Michael?
No. You're thinking Peter Pan. We're talking Hook.
Oh, sorry, my bad. My. Yeah. Peter Pan's children. Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Pan's children.
I don't know any.
I was on the Peter Pan trail. What do we cast as Rufio?
Oh.
That's a great call, Ryan.
Rufio. Oh.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Ooh, Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah, even better.
Yeah.
The Doctor versus Sherlock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stephen Moffat's worlds colliding.
But yeah, who would you get to play Rufio?
I would shadow swap him. Make it a female.
Jenna Louise Coleman.
Rufia. Fuck you.
No, I'm serious. Jenna Louise, I think, could pull it off.
You're just trying to hurt me now, aren't you?
I'm being legit. Jenna Coleman is a legit good actress, despite
I know she is. I don't need to see her and Matt Smith together again.
But they would be going after each other, and Matt Smith would kill her. So you think that would bring you joy? Remember,
Fine.
Rufio dies. See, I got you.
Yeah, but it wasn't Peter that killed him.
No, but it'd be funny if Sherlock did it.
What?
Oh, and you know what? We could put Cass Capaldi as the pirate that gets put in the boo box.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay, we got to go on because this is getting we're having too much fun with this.
Yeah, we're still not making any headway in our Doctor Who Muppets crossover, so we can't start another one.
Nope. So that was your number.
I like this real quick. The Rock has Rufio.
The Rock Theo.
Yeah. No, fan. The Rock is a crocodile. See, get it?
Motion capture.
Croc.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at some point, the crocodile just goes. He has a smolder, like from Jumanji. Never mind.
I love that movie so much, Jumanji. That's a reboot. I'm glad they did.
Yeah, both of them.
Dad.
A wild Ben's dad appeared.
Yeah. A wild Senior Rayner.
Mr. Rayner.
What the hell is that? What was that? That thing your dad had?
Vacuum.
That? Oh.
Okay.
So this was your what? Number 4, Ben?
Oh.
Okay, so my number 3 is a movie that it bombed at its time, but I've noticed is beginning, especially in the last few years, a more of a resurgence in popularity. And I think it could be redone using the tropes that have come out since this movie. And I think it's Last Action Hero.
Last Action Hero bombed?
Oh, sorry?
Did you say it bombed when it came out?
Oh, yeah. It was a commercial. It was a failure when it came out.
Oh, wow.
And commercially.
Okay.
The only thing that came out of it that was any bit of popularity was the Def Leppard single "Two Steps Behind," which is one of the greatest songs of all time. But yeah, no, it bombed hard when it came out.
And you cast The Rock.
That's one you would definitely cast The Rock in.
And Vin Diesel.
No, you would cast Vin Diesel. And then in that blockbuster scene?
Yeah, it's The Rock on Dom Toretto's head. Actually, no, that can't work because The Rock's already in that franchise. The Rock's head on Triple X.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Or Riddick. One of the two. It can't be the past franchise, unfortunately, because The Rock's already in it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. That's the reason why we're casting it like this.
Touche. But no, I think it's a movie that's ahead of its time, and if I'm being 100% honest, it should have come out later than it did. Came out in 92, I believe.
I still haven't seen it. Is it worth watching?
I think because of when it came out is the reason why it's ahead of its time.
Oh, it's a fair point. Yeah, Ben, I would suggest go watching it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun movie to watch.
Oh, what? Oh,
yeah, but I mean, it's definitely one that I think if you were to redo it, it could be redone today for sure. Because there's a lot of tropes that have come out since. What? Oh,
I think she meant lightsaber.
Yeah, and sword has a W in it. Anywho,
sort of.
Oh. Okay, so that was my number 3. It's the Last Action Hero because, like I said, I think there's so much has been done since the last one came out that you could easily redo it.
Okay.
Instead of making a theatrical, you can make it a Netflix release. I meant in the movie because Jeff Burton is a movie character.
No, not Jack Bridget, it's somebody else. Jack Bridget is next on the play. Jack Bridget is next from LA.
Yeah. Jack, hold on. I think it's like Jack Slade or something like that.
Slade!
No, it's Jack
Slater. Jack Slater.
Slade.
Yeah. You got F. Murray Abraham in the movie. You've got Charles Dance, Art Carney. Some really good actors. Anthony Quinn. Ian McKellen is in the movie.
Yep.
Joe Plowright, James Belushi, Chevy Chase. Oh, yeah. I should go back and rewatch it. It's been a while. All right, 50.
Whoa.
What's your number 2?
Speaking
No,
of being
number
ahead of its
3.
time,
That's
what?
what I meant.
Number 3.
Sorry, I'd already
Number 3.
number 3.
Speaking of being ahead of its time, I think this is a movie that could really, really work today in today's modern context of superhero movies. I'm sensing a theme here. Sky High.
Mm.
Ooh,
Either
that's
of you
good.
seen Sky High?
No, not yet.
Okay. So yeah, basically it's kind of like Invincible, but obviously a little less violent and gory. And it's the son of two very famous superheroes. Has to go to superhero school because apparently that's a thing where kids with superpowers go to learn how to use their powers. But plot twist, he doesn't have any superpowers, but he discovers them along the way. And during that whole confusing journey of teenage adolescence, he gains some new friends who were originally cast as sidekicks because apparently that's what superhero schools do. They decide if you're a hero or a sidekick right off the bat. You have no say in the matter. This is a lot of really interesting concepts that were fun to think about back in the day when this movie came out in 2005, I think. But applied to today's modern context of how we view superheroes, it's definitely going to be a lot more serious. I mean, the movie is very, very serious at times. It's very goofy at times, but you can tell that if this movie was to be remade the way we view superheroes today, they would take it in a whole other level. Especially with how complex movie villains in superhero movies have become these days, with the Lokis and the Thanoses and the Killmongers and whatnot, and the Jokers of our time. So, yeah, Sky High. That's my pick.
No, I've never seen it.
That's unfortunate.
Well,
I've seen it once, but it's a really good one.
It came out during that point in my life because it came out when I was a teenager, and I was trying to distance myself from those movies, like most teenagers tend to do. So that's why I never gone back and watched it.
I mean, you're not a teenager now.
I know. I should probably go back and watch it.
Yeah. Okay, so my number 3?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, it's a movie that the sequels have been awful after the second one.
Could be a lot of franchises.
What?
That could be a lot of franchises.
Do you have the slightest idea how little that narrows it down?
It's something we all know of. The Terminator.
Really?
Hasta la vista, baby.
Okay. Okay.
Back to basics. Start with the simple premise of the guy going back in time. Maybe he ended up Sarah Connor making somebody else. Being played by, not how you say his name.
The Rock.
Chewie-
Just kidding.
What?
So The Rock.
The Rock. Just kidding.
No. Chewie
Chewie Tell Ejiofor.
Ooh.
Oh, that would be a great
The Terminator?
Yep.
We kind of saw something like that with him in an episode of Firefly, actually. Or no, not Firefly. It was Serenity.
The movie.
Serenity.
That was the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking another actor from a Firefly episode. But yeah, no, we kind of got that. That's a great fucking choice.
And it could be the basic same blueprint, but they could update it. Maybe it end up killing an unborn child. Maybe I don't know. There's a way to update it, but make it stick to basics and make it good. Cast Kerry Washington as Sarah Connor. Well, Sarah Connor type of role.
Very
As
much
long
so.
as she doesn't blink, everything's fine. Sorry, that's another Carrie. I botched the joke. I'm sorry.
Wah, wah, wah.
But you're saying Yeah, I tried. So you're saying reboot the entire franchise, or
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah. It's
Actually,
not
I
over.
think that could work more than if they do the Halloween thing, which is what they tried to do with
They
Dark
already
Fate.
tried it. They already tried it in the film.
Yeah.
So,
Twice.
yeah, it's not over.
Although I will say, Dark Fate is actually not that bad of a movie.
It's
Yeah,
not
it's not
bad, but
It's got
nobody,
Ghost Rider as a Terminator. Why not?
yeah, nobody cares about it. But
Sadly.
it's not bad. Yeah, that's my number 3, Terminator.
Hey, so my number 2 was the point from earlier. Was
Speaking of
that's one I kept
speaking of,
seeing a lot of.
Schwarzenegger movies,
Yeah. The concept has been done actually quite a few times because basically it's somebody who's competing on a game show trying to survive. But yeah, that's actually one I've seen a lot pop up on lists of movies that should be rebooted. Is The Running Man. I mean, yeah, you could get a lot of the up and coming actors today to play those roles.
no need to apologize, man. You're giving us great stuff to talk about.
Lord of the Flies would be an interesting one.
Yeah. And
They
hello,
should-
Shug.
Okay, so yeah, no, my number 2 was the pun from earlier, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I personally do not dislike this movie, even though it's been again a while since I've seen it. But it is well known as the movie that put Sean Connery into retirement. There's a lot of good stuff in here. It has the makings of a potentially great universe because of all of the famous characters that are in this movie. I think it's time to reboot it.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, with our understanding of comic book movies today, I think this movie has a lot of potential. I mean, even watching that movie recently, I was like, okay, I can see that they've got something here, but they're just watching it at every turn. So, like, and for the concept, it's in and of itself is pretty intriguing. Yeah, we all know the Avengers and the Justice Leagues and the Ninja Turtles and stuff, but a superhero team of sorts featuring these characters, that's a premise in and of itself.
Mm-hmm. And that's basically what the original premise is
of the comic. Yeah. And fun fact, you mentioned that everyone knows this movie as the movie that got Sean Connery to retire. Do you know which role he passed on?
I do.
Yeah,
you,
me
Ben?
too.
Go ahead, 50.
Albus fucking Dumbledore.
Yeah.
He passed on playing Dumbledore to star in that movie, and it's the movie that ended his career.
I'm not even Yano.
No, it was Dumbledore. Specifically, he passed on it because, in his words, he didn't think that a movie franchise about teenage wizards from this, at the time, relatively new author, he didn't think it would work. To play an opposite side, if it was Gandalf, he probably would have taken it because it's an established, known property. And
well, he did. That was Peter Jackson's original choice. Was Sean Connery for Gandalf?
But he wasn't offered the role.
$10
is what I heard.
Wow,
that's
what he was offered. Because the reason he didn't take it because he didn't understand it, just like the Matrix. Because Sean Connery was offered Morpheus.
Hey, Seth.
Hey, how's it going?
You mentioned New Zealand enough times, and there she is.
Yep. It's like Beetlejuice, but this one you want around.
Yep.
All right, 50. What is your number 2?
Okay, my number 2 is a movie that's actually getting a reboot, and now we're stepping into Disney live action reboot territory. Hercules.
Thank you. I've been seeing this one for a long time. Should be done. This, and Hunchback. Those are the 2 I think should be remade.
That to me is the most underrated Superman movie of all time. Is Disney's original Hercules.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's getting rebooted. I feel like over time, people's opinions have changed on that movie, but it's still among the
It's one of my favorites.
least popular of the Renaissance era Disney.
Which is ridiculous, which is insane to think about because it's easily one of the best.
Yes, I mean it's no Lion King. Don't get me wrong, but still,
There it is.
I mean, once you reach the top, there's nowhere to go but downwards. But still, as far as it's not the top of Mount Olympus that the Lion King is, but it's
It's in the cloud.
it's like the hermit's house perched at the halfway point of the mountain. If you get that reference, you deserve a veterans discount.
No, there's so much rife for this with the reboot, and I mean, there's so many great people you could get to cast in this roles. This is weird, but I can see Kerry Russell as Meg. I think she best resembles the character.
Who wouldn't cast as the godlike person Hercules?
This one is
Hemsworth. Oh,
Who?
oh, that's it.
I think Channing Tatum, like, I mean, Hemsworth would be great, but I think if you're going to go for the similar type of vibe you're getting from the animated movie, I think Channing Tatum best exemplifies that.
I can make a strong case for Hemsworth, but
Oh, for sure. Like, I mean, you could easily.
I just thought it would be funny to see Hemsworth playing the Norse god of thunder and the Greek son of Zeus. I just thought that would be funny. Kurt Russell is Zeus for obvious reasons.
Well, of course.
Ooh, I like that.
And is James?
Jermaine Clement is Hades.
That's better than what was I was gonna suggest. But I think we can all agree that we could Mufasa Danny DeVito back into the role, right? If you're keeping anybody from the original cast, you gotta bring back DeVito.
That one's tough because if we're doing a live action, Danny DeVito's not young.
But
It's a half CGI character. Who fucking cares?
Okay, good point.
Just get a map of his face and facial move. He can just be sitting in a chair the entire time and CGI his legs.
That's true.
I mean, the amount of bullshit we can do with this type of technology these days is earth-shattering. Just watch the Lion King remake to get an idea of that.
Yeah. I know you convinced me to rewatch it, and I did. Okay, Ben. Thine numero dos.
facial.
Oh, that's the one I've also heard bantied around the last few years as well.
And to be in it, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
That would be great. Wolverine and Deadpool.
The amount of tech updated in today's technology would be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun. The original, it's fun as hell. There's so much more you can do with it with today's tech. It's gonna be really cool.
Mm-hmm. And plus, it makes sense because you'd be playing off their real life friendship, feud, whatever. So it would be great. It would be great, and you could do it as well. You could almost do it more of a straight up comedy.
Oh, if not them, Kevin Hart and The Rock.
Can't work because there's a size difference, Ben. I mean, what are you gonna do? Change The Rock into a short person? Cotton Hill him, cut him off of the shins?
And plus, these guys are already doing everything together. Even freaking Super Pets movie. Did you see that trailer?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I did.
The Rock is playing Crypto the Super Dog, and Kevin Hart is Ace the Bat Hound. These guys are like inseparable.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, the only way I would think it redid it as an animated, because then but I mean, you couldn't do that live action. Like that's a little too far of a stretch.
Oh my god, I have the best number one. I never thought of
So you're
it.
changing your number one then?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, you
Okay.
So you're gonna put your old number one on honorable mentions then?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's quite a downgrade, but okay.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what it is.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, it is honorable mention time now. I actually do not have any honorable mentions this week.
Okay.
So we can get to see what Ben's number one was after all.
Yeah, you don't have any other 50?
I have one.
What is it?
So we're keeping the suspense. Okay. It's Mystery Men.
Oh.
See, I watched that movie a couple of years ago and didn't get why it was as beloved as it is. And I watched it recently, a couple of weeks ago. I get it now.
Mhm.
It's a fun fucking movie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
again, very much ahead of its time. But there's, again, like I said, there's a pattern to my list today.
There it is, Artemis Fowl. I told you.
Is that going to become a regular thing now?
Yeah.
Are you going to mention Artemis Fowl?
Hey, if you can mention, like, you're not the only one who can have a thing 50.
Yeah, Mr. Lion King.
That's why I'm asking. I don't want to be the only one who does that. But
Whoa. This ain't heavy. It is fun.
okay. But yeah, Mystery Man. It's a great fucking movie. Go watch it.
Hey Ben, let's hear your
My honorable mentions: RoboCop, Jurassic Park, Ninja Turtles, and Frankenstein.
I'm going to argue against Jurassic Park. That is one that should not be remade because you cannot recapture the magic of the first one.
And also it's a franchise that's still going.
The franchise is still going. What was the first one you said?
RoboCop.
They already did it. Why would you need to reboot it again?
Because the reboot didn't work.
Well, it still has the scariest moment in the whole franchise for me. And yeah, okay. But yeah, I don't think Jurassic Park should be on the list because that's an untouchable one, like Back to the Future.
Okay.
No. The reason I say that is because you cannot recapture what makes that movie important, no matter how hard you tried.
To be honest, you know, Back to the Future is my favorite movie. It can be rebooted.
Should it be rebooted?
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
Not me. I have my hands on my Dalek, which I just realized just how bad that sounded.
Okay, Ben. What was your original number one?
Yeah.
Is your honorable mention?
Frankenstein.
Now you see, yeah,
Frankenstein.
You could remake Frankenstein and Dracula for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean those are movies that just I feel like it's one of those franchises that it's okay to just have a different retelling of them.
Which we've had over time. Like you've got the original, like we're gonna go with Frankenstein here. You've got the original James Whale version, of course, which is a cinematic classic. You've got the Hammer versions. You've got which I think is actually a decent movie, Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. And then of course you got Frankenstein Unbound, which is a Roger Corman film. Like there's so many different versions of it that
Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein too, of course.
And Victor Frankenstein, not about the monster, but about
Igor.
Doctor and Ego. Igor, sorry. Ego is a planet.
You look confused. Everything okay?
Sorry, Taco just dropped a whole bunch of thing in our Star Wars chat. I'm like, what the hell is he going on about? Anyways.
I mean, Taco's not important enough to stop the entire show.
Yeah, it was a long list, so it just caught me by surprise. Okay then. So did you have any more honorable mentions, Ben, or was that it?
No, that's it.
Okay, so be prepared to want to curse.
Lion King.
No. The Breakfast Club.
I agree with you. 100%.
The Breakfast Club is a great movie, but it can be updated to represent the problems of our time. So instead of the nerd, the jock who's forced to do things he doesn't want to do, to be who he doesn't want to be, the popular girl who's misunderstood, the outcast, and the bully, you could include cyberbullying in there. You could include the LGBTQ rights. You could include. There's just so many different subjects you can cast these characters.
A black character in there.
Yeah, exactly. Racism. What else? I'm blanking on what else you could possibly do, but I think it is one that is ripe for a modern day reboot, focusing on the problems of our time.
So,
and since they're on detention, they're getting their phones taken away.
Correct.
That's the most important part. That's like the reason I would say movies from that era should not be rebooted because of the over reliance on phones. But that movie, it works within the premise.
It does
that-
because you could say, hey, as part of your attention, no phones.
So,
The teacher just takes it away at the beginning of the movie.
Is Heathers really a reboot? Is there like what do you mean by Heathers? Is it a reboot of Breakfast Club? I don't think it is.
No, they did reboot Heathers into a show.
Yeah. Okay. Into a show. Yeah. But I mean, if you were to get someone who nails the essence of the original Breakfast Club but transports it into the 21st century, I think you could have a great movie on your hands.
Okay.
You have to have the right people behind it.
Jumping off of that.
John Watts, maybe?
Yeah.
Ooh, I like
John
that.
Watts would be a great director for this because he does look what he did with Spider-Man Homecoming,
Yeah, Superman
Who would you
Homecoming.
cast? Who would you
which is
cast?
actually a book.
Yeah. Who would you cast?
Hoy. This just shows how much up I am with the teenage group nowadays.
How do you do, fellow kids?
You know what? I would cast Sabrina Carpenter from Girl Meets World as the Molly Ringwald character.
Ooh, I like that.
Jesus, you put me on a spot with that because I didn't think of casting.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to.
Oh, it's like that famous meme. Oh, you like that movie? Name every actor who's going to be in it.
Yeah. You know what? I could see Tom Holland doing the Emilio Estevez role, the athlete.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'd have to think about that one.
Okay. All right. 50, you're number one, my man.
In my opinion, the absolutely most underrated, underappreciated, underloved. Yeah, you missed it, but I can do it. I can do it again if you like.
The Rock as the jock,
The Rock is the jock.
and Kevin Hart as the nerd.
But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kiwi, you missed it, but it doesn't matter. It's in the past. Okay, the most underrated, underappreciated, underloved Disney animated movie of all time, Treasure Planet.
Wow, I never thought about that one. You're right. Would be
It
great
is.
for a reboot.
If any movie deserves a live action remake, it's that movie.
Yep.
Yeah,
I've
someone
seen it.
agrees with me.
I've only seen it once, and I do not remember it. I am ashamed to say, but I've always heard it is
I'm
underrated.
gonna say this until I'm blue in the face. There's a reason you only watched it once. There's a reason why you feel like it. It's because you watched it once. Go back and watch it. It is incredible. That's my favorite. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. That's my favorite pirate movie. Not Pirates of the Caribbean. The favorite pirate movie.
Okay.
They took the story of Treasure Island and updated it to a modern age, a futuristic age, and the stuff they were able to do in that movie is just great. Imagine that in a live action setting.
I forgot Martin Short was in this.
Yeah, he was Ben, wasn't he? Ben.
Yeah.
That's the name of the robot.
I am a robot.
Exterminate.
Robo. Oh, Mabel. Euro Trip for those who've seen it.
Okay, then.
Moving right along.
Moving right along.
Yep, the Muppet song. Yep. Okay, here's one for you. The Goonies. Do you think that could be rebooted?
Again, you run into the same problem I mentioned earlier. Phones.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta get rid of those. Maybe they get lost in the water.
No reception in the mountain, dude.
Yeah.
No, it's getting children to get out of their phones and interested in a treasure hunt.
Mm-hmm.
It's the yeah. I would love it if a Goonies reboot could be made today, but you got. I don't think children these days are as interested in the stuff that the children in the Goonies were today.
That's true. And Goonies is awesome the way it is.
Yep. But don't tell Roka that.
Nope. And that's as someone who saw it in their 20s for the first time.
I do.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
God, I love that movie so much. It was worth a 4K upgrade.
And a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's a fun ass movie.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay. Ben, what is your number one?
Junior.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Except in cast The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart is the pregnant one.
Okay, yeah, it's witness it. The Rock and the site, yeah. Oh my god, that would be so funny. Because that movie could get done today, right?
Yeah, if it's done right.
Yeah. You get, what's her name? What's that funny woman? What's her name? The writer, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. The writer and directed.
Yeah, then I think he would work.
Yep. And oh my god, that could be so funny. Especially that scene in the first one, they had Arnold Schwarzenegger going to the retreat towards the end. Except in this one, it would be Kevin Hart. Oh my god, and oh god.
But you could also connect it to the original by casting Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, who looks a lot like him, Patrick Schwarzenegger, as the offspring, who's now a doctor and who's advising them.
Oh god, I love that. I love that.
And that just came off the top of my head.
Choose.
Who the man?
Who the man?
That's not even on here, son of a bitch.
That's not on here.
Dad, I'm 31. I don't have a Christmas list anymore. I do!
I'm gonna have to cut out that specific I do part.
Yeah. It works better.
Well, okay then. So that brings an end to today's list. So 50, it is your turn for next week. What is the topic?
Top 5 movie speeches.
Ooh, yes. I can tell you one right on the top of my head.
Okay,
No,
but
I mean,
reminder.
like, 2 that will be on my list on top of my head.
Okay. And bonus points if you actually reenact the speeches yourself.
Done.
And also a reminder, this is just movies, no TV, because we all know which show would mostly dominate my list. I could pretty
Doctor
much,
Who.
I can make up 2 or 3 speeches per Doctor, and that's including the classic ones.
Mm.
I already know. No.
So Ryan already
Oh.
knows it's number 1.
So don't spoil it, Ryan.
Yeah.
I think I already know my number one too.
I already know
I know
my number one.
too, and it is one that I actually do think about every day. Yeah. All right.
Oh, I think I know it. Well, I don't know which one, but I think I know where it comes from.
Of course. But it is one that works in real
Oh,
life.
yeah.
Okay. So
Oh, I think I know your number one.
duh, if you know anything about me, it should be obvious.
Yeah, I don't know why it took me this long to figure it out.
Okay, so that is the end of the show 50. Where can everybody find you, my man?
You can find me on my YouTube channel, 50 Shades of Geek. You can find me occasionally on Twitch on 50 Shades of Geek. And you can find me every week recapping the greatest show in the galaxy with these wonderful gentlemen right here on this channel. Occasionally I pop into Mount Schmodown. Let's talk about Star Wars and any other show they feel I'm worthy enough to join them. And you can also find my Patreon, patreon.com/Pokemon Star Crossing Crescent, where I design a Pokemon game based on Israel.
Okay, and Ben, what about you?
You guys can find me at my Twitter at man_radio. Every Tuesday on Seeing the Breeze with Matt here. Every Saturday morning right here. Every Saturday afternoon on Matt Slowdown. A Slowdown show where we go into players' careers. Today we're going into a career of Switch related to sales, into single streaming. We actually have her coming on. That's going to be a fun time. Come check that out. And we're coming up past with these two guys here. And sometimes.
Let's not forget Recap the Past with the Kiwi in the comments, Jess.
Yeah.
I was about to say that. I was about to say.
Okay. It's a 50 miss, and I was like, really? You can find
I'm
me on
Blu-ray, okay?
You tried.
You realize how much of my brain cells I'm exerting to remember having to say the greatest show in the galaxy every week?
Well, be prepared to see how much my brain exerts, because you can find me on my personal Instagram and Twitter at soda_the_saxman. You can find me on every show on this channel. You can find me most Saturdays producing Let's Talk About Star Wars, which is currently on its current 2-week hiatus. Wednesdays, you can find me on the Squared Slice, the wrestling show on this channel. And yeah, you can find me on most of the shows that Ben has listed as well. And of course, like Recap in the Past on this channel. There's a whole bunch of great stuff. So you can like and subscribe this channel, like this video. Don't forget to leave in the comments what movies you think should be rebooted. So on behalf of myself, 50 Shades of Blue, and Ben Big Fudge Rayner.
Hey, when did that happen?
See you next week.